It's my pleasure this morning to speak with Matt Donovan. Matt is the Vice President of Digital Learning Strategies and Solutions at GP Strategies. And what we're going to talk about today is the whole learning technology ecosphere. So Matt, when people use these terms like ecosphere, what do they really mean, and is it important?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a key part of the overall experience that we're trying to create for our learners. And I think there's actually a lot of disruption in what we're seeing in the types of tools that are being brought to the table. Historically, there's been this one large platform, an LMS or an LMS with an LCMS, kind of these really big monolithic tools. And what we're now seeing is disruption in the learner experience space, where you're actually seeing a variety of tools and platforms being brought to combination to create deeper, richer experiences to do that. So I refer to it as kind of the appification of the industry.
Yeah, so rather like your phone is not one piece of software, it's mine, about 150 pieces of software. It's the same thing. It's about plugging unique use technologies together to create this environment, this learning environment. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think one very interesting example would be like the concept of Slack, for example.
Yes.
Is an interesting platform, and for real quickly around it, what I often describe to folks about what Slack is, because it's one of those things that, what is it? Is it an alternate email? Is it a workplace? What really is it? And I've referred to it as kind of, if you think of a learning room of requirement, if you're a Harry Potter fan, it's basically a collaboration space intended at the point of work or collaboration, and you bring the things you need into it. So for example, if you need a web conferencing app, you can bring it into your Slack space. If you needed a Gantt charting or project planning tool, you can bring these small little features into the space of that collaboration. And then if you had a different point of collaboration or different needs, you'd actually reconstruct the space within it. And that's one micro example, but you can also see combining it with other features, like if I wanted to do a video-based coaching component, I could bring those features in as well. So not just that platform, but we're seeing a lot of mix and match with it. Now,
Yeah. So it's all about mix.
Yeah.
So if you imagine the big learning environment, so that if you're looking to incorporate coaching and mentoring, that'd be one element. If you're looking at delivering curated content, if you want to monitor and suggest new items for learning and improve the learner experience, that's another item of content.
Yeah.
And all these things plug together to create potentially a unique learning environment in your organization.
Yeah.
You're not like every other person down the road.
Yeah. And actually, not only how we bring them in and work together, but how we consume them.
Yes.
So historically, the LMS was it was ever present, always there. You enrolled all your learners, and this is what you did. But now you can move in and out of these tools. They're fit for purpose. So I can recombine for another experience with other elements, and then I can change up the utilization of that. So it's not just how we combine them, but changing them over time for a range of needs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can strip them in and out.
Yeah.
The better one comes along, bring that in, get rid of the old one. Needs change, need a new one to come in. So it's like the permanent way in which we'll do things in the future. This isn't going to go away, is it?
No, it's not going to wait. It's only going to get worse, I think, as you look at
More complex.
More complex. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you. Not worse, but yeah, it'll get more exciting and
More
challenging.
exciting.
At the same time, and that's, I think, for the L&D professional, that's probably one of the biggest challenges, staying on top of the constant evolution of new tools. And what is it used for? I think of like video-based coaching platforms. There's a couple of different tools. They all are great tools for needs, but they're designed slightly differently. How would you know which one's best for this type of learning event, for that learning event? And then 6 months later, when I have a fourth and a fifth one added and one goes away, how do you stay on top of that? That's when I say about that, that's the disruption that we need to find a sustainable way to actually start to manage this bonus or plethora of tools or platforms available.
Richness of opportunity.
Richness, exactly.
So is that where GP Strategies can help? Is that your kind of role? Is to help organizations work out what are the appropriate tools that they might incorporate?
Yeah.
You are kind of a neutral
Absolutely.
force that can help organizations work their way through the jungle.
Absolutely, and I think that we bring an approach that is a sustainable approach to be able to do that. One in which you can get to evidence-based. I think there's a big part of rather than an opinion of do I like this or somebody else like that and you might like it. The question we want to get into is this going to work for your organization for what you need? Because it's not just a tool is a tool is a tool. You're working within learning cultures that are unique to different organizations. And so you need to have confidence that when you invest in them, you're going to be able to do that. Now, GP strategies can help, we have approaches that can help you sort through that. We use things like innovation spaces or innovation kitchens. We have them set up ourselves, but we also have set them up with our partners. But it's an approach to actually bring in technology to be able to explore it. And so what you start with is the art of the possible, progressing through the business of the viable. And that's really a sustainable approach to be able to do that. And I think that's one of the biggest needs that we were hearing from our partners is saying, how do we stay on top of all this? How do we know we're making a good investment? Most of the platforms will have a return on investment, but the bigger question is this the right investment for us today? Of all the investments we can make, is this the right one? Yes. So, and we have processes to support and help through that.
So I suppose the key word that we're going to leave this interview with is you just need to manage an experiment and work it out, and this is never going to go away. You're always going to be in that position.
You've got to create, and this is the thing, L&D organizations have not historically created space for innovation.
No, that's true.
And they have to commit to that. You can't, and you can't ignore that. And we can help do that. And it doesn't have to be a huge expense to be able to do that. There are easy ways to do it.
It's a mindset issue, isn't it?
It
Rather
is.
than anything else.
Yeah.
Great place to finish. Matt Donovan, thank you very much for talking to me.